do I have a story for you. Today at queenbeing.com, it is story time. I'm going to share with you a story about a narcissist from my own life, a recent one. So let's get started. Closed captioning provided by Athena Moberg and cptsdfoundation.org. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. Can we get real for a minute? I'm going to tell you a story about someone whose name I'm not going to share, but who I'm going to call Ned the Narcissist for the purpose of this video. You know, to protect the not so innocent. Anyway, this was a friend of mine and my husband's. We met him through our social group, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy. However, the first time I met this guy, something really weird happened. It was at a party at our home. We had a gathering, and he came with one of our mutual friends. Now, initially, when he walked in the room, it was cool. He came in, we greeted him, he was showed around, everything was cool. Next thing you know, I'm standing behind the bar and he comes up to the bar and we're talking. And the first thing I say to him is, you know, you kind of look like Keanu Reeves. Because he kind of did, around the edges a little bit. Well, normally, I think people would take that as a compliment, or at least be like, well, who's Keanu Reeves, right? Anyway, this guy looked at me and he said, I have a girlfriend. Mind you, he's in my house. Mind you, he's been introduced to my husband, who's just across the room. So let's keep in mind that's how we met. Quickly, I said to him at that moment, though, I said, listen, and I'm not hitting on you, I'm just noting that you kind of look like this guy from the movies. I thought you'd like to know that. Anyway, I took it as sort of a moment of weakness on his part. I just kind of let it go. I had said to him, you know, I'm just being nice. I'm just being like friendly. It's okay to be friendly. It doesn't mean I'm hitting on you. He accepted and we moved on. From that point on, he started coming to the events that we would have at our house. It was during that time that I learned that he also had a child with a woman who was in prison. I'm not judging anybody. Apparently, she was in prison on drug charges. And he talked all about his child and how, what a great dad he was and everything else. And then we find out that, in fact, his child isn't with him. His child is being raised by this woman's parents. Well, again, I'm trying not to judge. I'm like, okay, well, everything's different. You know, every circumstance is different. I don't know his deal. I'm not judging him. Well, once we had found out about the girlfriend's parents having the children, he started to say that the parents were not letting him see the child. He had a lot of complaints to say about it. And so anytime he'd be around, I would try to, you know, lift him up and comfort him and tell him, you know, you're such a good dad that you keep trying. I think it's great that you're trying to be in your child's life, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I felt sorry for him. I was trying to build him up, trying to help him feel more confident as a person, as a father, you know. And then after, I don't know, 2 years of decent acquaintanceship, right? This person posts on Facebook about an issue that is a very hot button topic in mom circles, okay? You either feel strongly one way on this issue or the other. In fact, I'm going to tell you what the issue is, but I'm not going to tell you anybody's standpoint because that's not the point of this video. The issue was vaccination, pro-vaccination or anti-vaccination. And this person was one of those two standpoints. I happen to be the other standpoint. So he posted this thing on Facebook and he says, hey, let's have a friendly debate. Let's talk about vaccinations. So people started chatting, and you know me, I can't resist a friendly debate. So I popped in my opinion on it. My husband popped in his opinion on it. It was all cool. It was, I thought, a friendly debate. Our opinions were conflicting, to be fair, and some of our opinions were based on fact, some of our opinions were based on feelings. I'm just going to leave it at that. But in general, the opinions were differing, and this friendly debate went on and everything seemed fine. Well, a few weeks later, my husband noticed that he had unfriended both of us on Facebook, and then he stopped showing up at our events and basically fell off the planet for us. So, you know me, I was like, whatever. If a person is toxic, then why waste your energy on that person? Well, over time, we heard from the people in our group that this was directly as a result of this person's stance on vaccination being different than ours. And it seemed that this person felt like he was better than us because of his stance on vaccinations versus ours, which I found very interesting for a number of reasons that I will not go into here. The least of which being we were raising our children and he wasn't. But we'll move on and we'll talk about that in a minute. So a few months later, he showed up at one of our events and we became friends with him again on Facebook, and that was fine, whatever. Didn't really think much of it, don't really care. It was just, we thought it was a silly thing. He had a moment of passion. Okay, we'd forgive him, we'd move on. Well, then just recently, my husband ran into this person at a social event out in the world, and being the honest person that he is, he asked this guy, he said, "Hey, how come you unfriended me on Facebook again?" So basically, the answer that he got was, "Well, you guys have differing opinions than me on vaccinations, and my opinions on vaccination is correct, and your opinion is wrong, and I am the be-all, end-all authority," in so many words. Basically, I'm better than you because I have a different opinion than you about vaccination. So after he said that, my husband was like, "Okay, man, that's cool, whatever." Because why argue with somebody who can't hear you, right? Well, after all of that went on, after that conversation was finished, they went on and talked about other things. And among the topics that came up were that this person had spent some time in jail since the last time we talked for drug charges. This person was still on drugs. This person still has no job, still isn't raising his own child or even seeing his own child. This person complained that he wasn't getting rides around town from people. In fact, he was seen on Facebook actually complaining that nobody would give him a ride. All of these things. When my husband told me that, I said to my husband in that moment, "I'm making a video about this mother trucker." Okay, so here I am. Why am I making this video? Because this is a perfect example of a narcissist who is delusional, who is grandiose, and who has literally no right to act like he's better than anybody. Please understand, I don't act like I'm better than him. In fact, what I said to my husband right after I said I'm doing a video about this person, I said, and this is the truth, I don't think I'm better than anybody. And I said, and there are a lot of people out there who are better than me, who are better than us. I said, but when it comes down to it, he's not better than us. And the reason I said that, I know that sounds arrogant, but the reason I said that is because we're trying. We're raising our children. We're doing all the things we need to do. And regardless of his opinion or our opinions on vaccinations, what it comes down to is he's not better than us, and he thinks he is. Now, you might decide that you think that guy's better than us, and that's okay if that's the case. But bottom line, the type of narcissist I'm talking about today is the type who will pretend to be so ethical, but who will literally not be walking the walk. He will be talking the talk, and he will be judging people who are talking a different talk, but he will never walk the walk. And this narcissist is a perfect example of that. So now I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you think about this story, and do you have any similar stories that you would like to share? If so, share your thoughts, share your ideas, share your experiences in the comment section below, and let's talk about it. I'm really interested to know what you think about this one. All right, that's all I've got for you right now, but as always, thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life, and hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon.